Hello everyone, welcome to Bargain Gaming, where we can play excellent games without busting our wallets. This is a special edition. What we're trying to do here is to show you folks out there who want to play this game what the final squad composition is and the final build. In the final, this team is composed of 7 people. In this game, we have a core people. When we start the game, we are asked to whether we want a default of 4 basic characters or we can create our own 4 characters. So it is very important for us, in my belief, in my game, in our last playthrough, the 4 basic or core, I would say core, the 4 core members of the team, we would like to create them because they will contain the most skill points, and they would be created in such a way that they will reflect our gameplay. And this final squad that we have has 4 core members and 3 additional NPC members. So the way this game is created, we are allowed our 4 core members, which we create and we design right from 0 level, and they can level all the way up to the maximum cap of 50. So the way it is designed is that each character will have a certain set of skill points. At the beginning of the creation of the skill points, each character will have 7 attributes, and those attributes we can, when you use the D-pad up and down, all of them will have a base of 3 points, and then we are given 7 more attribute points to add to specific attributes. And so 7 plus the 21 we start with, 3 times 7 attributes is 28. And then every 10 levels, as our character levels up, at level 10, we are given another attribute point to allocate. 20, 30, 40, and 50. Once we hit the level cap of 50, no more attribute points. And also, every level up, so that's every 10 levels we get 1 attribute point. Now, every level up, we are also given skill points. And these attributes is what makes up our character's ability to move, to fight, to carry items, to be aware of their conditions or surrounding areas. So each attribute is clearly designed or clearly defined at the lower part. It says in coordination, this attribute point has an influence of 2 to action points, and has a factor of 2 to the ability to hit from range. So that means all ranged weapons, be they energy weapons, ballistic weapons, or kinetic weapons, which is bullets, will be affected by this. And so the highest factor that they can have is 3 favorable influence. So like here, like this one has awareness has 3 factors or influence factors to combat initiation, and the differences among these will determine how our player functions. So if we want range ability, this is very important. Number 2 is luck. Luck has critical chance, has 2 influence factors to critical chance, 1 to evasion, chance to get additional con. Con is our health per level. I'm reading at the lower part, lower box, and a chance for bonus action points per turn. This chance for additional bonus action points, they only last that particular turn. They were temporary. And also it has a great influence on the type of loot drop our enemies leave behind when we kill them, and also on loot boxes. And then awareness has 3 factor points influence factors to combat initiative. Combat initiative determines who goes first in terms of each turn. Again, this game is a turn-based game, and the battle is tactical. It's very tactic-oriented, meaning positioning, cover, and then action points. Action points determines the amount of, like in coordination, the action points determine the amount, or everything in this game, in the combat situation, is regulated by action points. Movement, crouching. When we crouch, we have a plus factor to ability to hit, and we also have a, and then if we are in cover, we have a plus positive to that we can evade, or we will, the shot against us will miss. That means it will be a negative to hit for them. To hit is the ability to be able to hit you with their ranged weapons. And then moving, firing, and reloading our weapon, and jamming it when the weapon jams. And so all of those require action points. And different guns, energy weapons, melee weapons, have different action points. So far, what I have seen, the highest action points are sniper rifles. They require 7 action points. So, and then there are melee weapons that require only 3 action points, and pistols or short weapons, short guns, require 3 action points. And then there are modifications that can change this or lower this, especially among melee weapons. And then, anyway, so these are the attribute points. And each one, like awareness, defines combat initiative. Now, action points is very different from initiative. Assuming we have a gun that requires 5 action points, and if we increase, like in this case, we increased leader into having 12 action points, his gun, like this one, his gun, pressing triangle, we see that his FN FAL requires only 4 action points. So that means when his turn comes around to fire his weapon, he can fire 3 times if it's single shot. And he can fire 2 times when we use burst shots. Burst shots means it will consume 6 action points. On the right hand column, you see 6 AP. And each burst shot will consume, is actually 2 bullets are going out. So, and then the damage factor is 90 to 107. So single shot will hit 90 to 107 per shot, while the burst shot will hit 90 to 107 times 2, because there are 2 bullets going out, and so we have a higher chance. We create a lot more damage, but in burst shot we are less accurate. So that's the offset to that one. Anyway, so the action point, so that means he can go 3 times. If he doesn't move, he can go 3 times. And then he can actually, let's show, not, I shouldn't say go through it. He can fire 3 times. Okay, and then let's go back to the character screen. So now awareness shows plus 3 influence points to combat initiative. So that means the more we invest in awareness, his combat initiative on the left hand corner, lower left corner box shows combat initiative. It's 10. So if our leader has, the higher it is, the better off we are. That means assuming if our leader has 10 and all the rest have, including our enemies, have like 5, it's very possible that in one turn he can go ahead and start moving or firing immediately. So assuming if he just fires immediately, and he has 12 action points, and each firing of his gun requires only 4 action points, he can fire 3 times. And then since he is and then the other guys will go ahead, but then before the turn ends, it will come again because he has 10 combat initiative. So before the next turn even begins, he can go again. So that means he can fire 3 more times. So this, the way we determine how much damage we deliver is depends on the amount of action points we have in our combat initiative. And it's also combat initiative cannot be, action points are extremely well understood how important they are, but combat initiative is not, I won't say it plays second fiddle to action point. It is as good as, almost as good as action points, because if we can go ahead and deliver damage, that means that that particular enemy, we will have reduced the amount of enemies facing us by 1. If we kill him, assuming we go ahead first, we kill the enemy, so that means we have reduced the enemies against us by 1 immediately, and that person has no chance to hit back. And of course, if all of our squad members can go ahead, so that means all 7 can deliver damage, possibly wiping out the opposition force even before they started. So combat initiative cannot be underestimated. So action points, a lot of people think, oh, action points, action point, action points. Not necessarily. Assuming we go ahead, and even if we don't kill them, we would have tremendously released or reduced the number of opponents facing us. So combat initiative, action points are very important, and so is combat initiative. And then all of these are actually very important. And then strength determines the amount of health we have. So if we have a ton of health, well, it takes forever to wipe that character out, right? And then it shows what the factor influences: critical hit damage. That's for melee. Maximum carry weight, maximum health, our starting health, and then the amount of action points. So it has one influence for action points. Speed determines how fast. In fact, especially this is especially true for movement. In the lower left-hand box, we see combat speed. So that means for every action point, we actually travel 2.1 meters. If we look at Scout, which has an 8 speed, she can travel 2.6 meters per action point. So she can go a long way compared to Leader. And then, okay, let's go back to Leader. And then intelligence. Intelligence is, again, all of these characters are actually very important. But for me, with my game style, intelligence for me is the most important. Reason being that intelligence determines the amount of skill points we gain every time we level up. So at 2 intelligence, we get 2 skill points every time we level up. To reiterate, the level cap on this is 50. So that means if we are starting at 0 and we have 2 intelligence points, once we hit the level cap, we will have been given 100 skill points. And those skill points will be invested in the skill tree. Hold on. In this skill tree. And then there are 3 skill trees, which is combat, and this is knowledge skills, and this is general skills. And that is why we will see that we have, like in this, because we have so many skill points, we were able to specialize in so many areas. 1, 2, 3, 10 is the maximum. So we have so many skill points. And that is the reason, because I started all our characters with 8 intelligence points. The only character of the 4 characters, all of them started out with 8 intelligence points. The only character that is different is Bones. Bones started out with 9 intelligence points, and then when we hit level 10, I gave her when we earned the additional attribute point at level 10, I put it into intelligence. So she ended the game with 10 intelligence points. The other guys, I gave them only, I stuck their intelligence points at 8. If we want to give them high intelligence, we have to give them right at the start. So with two intelligence points, in intelligence, we get 2 skill points. With 4 intelligence points, we get 3 skill points. At 8 intelligence points, we get 4 skill points. At 10 intelligence points, we get 5 skill points. Per level, we go up. So imagine if we give them 10, at level 50, they will have, instead of 100 skill points, they will have 250 skill points. That is a tremendous amount of number. So most of our characters have like this guy, like our leader. He had 8 intelligence skill points, so 8 intelligence attributes. So that means every level up, he has been going up. He has been getting 4 intelligence points, and and with that, he was already able to level up 1, 2, 3, and 4 maxed out. And then we also gave him 2 more items, 3 more other skill points. No, 4 more other 5 more skill points. Oh no, the hard ass was from a book. Okay, so so that is why that comes from 4 skill points times 50, 200. So that is this whole skill, all this number of abilities came from 200 skill points, and we were able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 of them up to max. And then Kiss Ass was because of a talisman or a trinket that we picked up. So skill points is very important. It determines our character's ability to deliver specific abilities, right? Meaning if it's to fire or weapons, or if it's in this case his leadership is up, his Kiss Ass is up, his ability on assault weapons is at max, energy weapons is at max, and so those are skill points. Okay, so that's why skill points is very important, and that's the one we can really control. Now, in the way the skill tree is designed is that each skill has 10 ticks to it. Each tick, the first 3 sets of ticks, so each skill has 10 ticks, and as we invest skill points into each tick, the cost of investing skill points goes up. The first tick, it costs 2 skill points to get the first tick. So the first set of 3 ticks, 1, 2, and 3, it costs 2 skill points. The second set of 3, 4, 5, and 6 costs 4 skill points per tick. And then the third set of ticks, which is 7, 8, 9, costs 6 skill points to get 1 tick. And then the last 10th tick, the 10th tick requires 8 skill points. So in essence, to complete the tree, like in leader's tree, to get it to 10 leadership, if we didn't find a book, it would cost 44 skill points. So with 200 skill points, we can theoretically invest in 3 and almost 4. So some of these, like this one, is because of a trinket, and then there are books that we can pick up. I was not able to find all the skill books in this game, but suffice to say that the books helped contribute. That 1, 2, and 3, and 4 allowed us, those skill books allowed us to get to the max. And then, so that's on the skills and how we develop them. Aside from the skills, the next thing to consider, so these are just, and under the skills, we have different kind of stuff. So when we devise the composition of our team, what I did was that leader is, of course, based on his leadership skills. And the key important thing about leadership skills is his ability to give buffs to our group members. And this buffs allows us to improve our to hit chance. So first, your companions and NPCs will list a true leader is not made. So they improve our ability to hit. Oh, wait, hold on. Abilities to hit. It doesn't say here anymore, but their ability, if they're close, first our area of influence among our group grows up with each tick. I mean, the area covered by our leadership influence grows with each tick as we go up. And then he also improves the ability to hit percentage of all our compatriots within that influence area. So his main task is leadership and charm we give him. So he gets ability to influence other people in terms of the skills of kiss ass, smart ass, and another one is hard ass, which in this case we only invested in 1 point. So as far as leadership is concerned, the most important skills I have found is assault rifles, and instead of smart ass or even kiss ass, I should have improved hard ass, and then all the other skills like energy weapons is overrated. I should not have invested any of it. I believe energy weapons, even towards the end when we are fighting against robots, the ability to use good bullets and good weapons actually outperforms energy weapons. Energy weapons doesn't have that that ability to hit, cause damage. So his main role will be an influencer. So, and then his major damage ability is assault rifle. So as an influence maker, as an influencer, he has smart ass, kiss ass, hard ass, and leadership. And then all the rest of the other skills are, you will understand them as you start playing the game yourself. And then the second person in our composition, I never even finished all his skills, she is scout. So that means the way we have played this game is that we line up our guys, we put them in good positions, undercover, or if now put them in a line, and then we have scout go out ahead, spot the enemies, and pull them to our position. So they will come, as they come towards us, we can set our guys so that we can ambush them, and they approach our influence area, we kill them. So sometimes they come out singly or doubly or something, or 3 at a time, and we wipe them out. It's called defeating them in detail. So her main mission is to pull them to our position, and her skills reflect that. That's why she has the highest speed and she has the highest awareness. So those are the most important for her. And then the third person in our main composition is Bones. And of course, back to Scout. So our main composition would be the leader has assault rifle. The second one, Scout, would be mainly concentrated on sniper rifles. And then I gave her a submachine gun, which I rarely used. Is when people go up next to us, the sniper rifles become ineffective. So we need to give her a short range weapon. So I gave her, so sniper rifle and a submachine gun, those are her most important one, and perception, so that she can actually pick out items in the area or look out for items in the area. And then the third party member, again, she is the one who has so much excess skill points. And I turned her into a heavy weapons platform, but her main one is to heal people. So she has surgeon and field medic as high as I could get her. I did not even finish this out. So, and then computer science to hack robots, and also her main weapon is, in the end I turned her into a heavy weapons platform. But her main weapon is primarily sniper rifle. Only until the end did I turn her into a heavy weapons platform. Now the reason for this is that this is a spoiler, and this is because of this combat shooting. Combat shooting is a book that we will find in the second half, towards the latter end of the game. in Ascension McDade's office. It grants the skill, at the bottom it says, grants the skill owner a 99% bonus to critical chance. So that means if we combine this, and then we combine, so that means if we combine that together with a high damage weapon like the minigun does 44 to 52 points of damage, and it has a critical damage, since because of the 99% shooting combat ability that we gave her, the book that she's specialized in. So her critical chance is now 110%. So that means every time she goes, she will always do critical damage. And the critical damage of the minigun is multiplied by 1.6 times. And although each bullet will be doing 44 to 52 points of damage, but we will be spewing out 7 bullets. So 44 times 1.6, we're talking about 60 to about 75 points of damage. 60, yeah, almost 60 to 75 points of that per bullet. So 60 times 7 is 420 on the low end, and then 75 by 7, almost 500 on the high end. So 420 to 500 per goes, and it costs 6 AP to fire her weapon. So when we designed her so that she has 12 APs. So that means every turn she can go twice. So she will be delivering 420 to 500 points of damage per fire, and multiplied it by 2, she's going 800 to 1,000. She can literally take down an enemy in one turn, or at least totally decimate it so that it has very few hit points left before the next person can go. Anyway, so that's the third one. But her main skill is her main purpose is healing, and that's why. So this one combat shooting. This is a skill. So before you grant this to whatever player you want to have it, make sure that player is also your heavy weapons platform. And then the final composition of the team that we made is Bull. Bull is, based on his name, is heavy in terms of he has the most hit points, he has the most strength, and therefore he is our cargo man. Anyway, I guess that is so. So he has the most strength, and yeah, that's it. He is like excuse me, he's our pack mule. And then the other NPCs that I recruited and I turned into our permanent team members are the following. So Tak, because he starts out with, I think, 9 strength. So he is again our pack mule. I didn't want to go back to vendors all the time, so that, because if we don't have that much strength, we get overloaded with loot and we have to sell it. So we have to keep going back to the vendors. So I had Tak in there. And then I have Rafi. The reason I use Rafi is Rafi comes out as at the lowest level. I mean, lowest level. We get him very early, so he's even below 10. I think it's only when we get him, he's about level 4. So it's very easy to grow him and mold him to the kind of person we want as a complement to our core team. And then finally, we get Pizza Pie. Again, I got her very late in the middle part of the game. I should have gotten her earlier, and then she would have been at 50 also. But anyway, that is the composition of our team. So I hope this whole episode was helpful for you. And there are some spoilers in it. I'm sorry for that, but like I said, the biggest spoiler is the combat shooting and how it should be tied to a heavy weapons person. Then you will be an absolute terror on the battlefield. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope you will join me in the next episode. Bye.